What's up, ladies and gentlemen? It's Brennan. I'm BMax45, and today we're coming at you with another video. We are going to be talking again about the banned and restricted list for the 25th of August. That was the one we got that's going to be going into effect on September 1st. We talked about it the other day when we had the reveal. We kind of looked at it, but we're going to look a little bit more into it because we're going to talk about why the reasons were. They have it up on the Digimon card site, the official card site, where they actually give reasons why they did this. So we're going to look at those reasons and just kind of see if we agree and understand about that. So this is just kind of follow up, just to kind of see what they were thinking, because they didn't show us this on the Facebook site. They just showed us the cards. But let's get into it. Let's talk about this and see what reasons they had for banning or limiting the cards that they did. And we'll just kind of take a look and see maybe they unbanned something or unlimited something. I don't think so, but we'll check and see in case it wasn't a part of the actual list announcement. And we have, of course, our banned cards can't be included in deck, restricted to 1. You can only include the number of copy equal to the number listed in parenthesis 1. I still think they need a semi-limit. I really think they need to start thinking about semi-limiting. And then banned pair. If A is included in the deck, B is banned from being included in the deck. So banned and restricted cards may be removed from the list depending on the current competitive environment. Or you could semi-limit, and then you could put things like Geo Greymon from BT 13 to 2 instead of having him at 1. But you guys never listen, so whatever. Anyways, hey, if you enjoy this type of content, be sure to smash that like button, comment down below. We love your thoughts, subscribe to the channel, and hit that bell for notifications so you don't miss a single minute of the fun. Without further ado, let's get into it. The new banned card, our second banned tamer in 2 ban lists, is the Sayo and Co. from EX5. Now, I thought the red one was the one that the deck used more, but let's see what their reasoning is on this, effective on September 1st. We're getting this ban list. By combining effects that activate at the start of an opponent's turn with effects that increase your memory, it is possible to quickly end your opponent's turn. Therefore, we determined that repeating this move negatively affects the game. And we previously decided to make the banned pairs shown here. However, due to an increase of the card pool, repeating this move will be possible with combinations other than these banned pairs. Therefore, we've determined that it won't be possible to use banned pairs to restrict this move. For the reasons, we've decided to ban this card. So originally these 3 were, banned pair, component A. You could play Zubamon, Keenan, or Matt with Ko and Sayo. And the ability was start your opponent's turn by playing 1 card with the same level as one of your Nightclaw and Light Fang trait Digimon from that Digimon's Digivolution cards without paying the cost. 2 of your Digimon may DNA dissolve into a Digimon card in your hand at the end of your turn. Return that Digimon played by this effect to the hand. So basically, it allowed you to do crazy memory shenanigans and potentially end your opponent's turn. There was a loop with it. And so these cards helped create the loop. And they said, no, you can't play these if you're going to play these. And so what happened is they did that. But now that the card pool is expanding, they're thinking, oh gosh, we're going to have to add to the banned, the banned pair. And what's the point? Let's just hit this. This is obviously the problem. If we're going to keep making cards and this is going to keep being a problem, we just need to hit it. And it wasn't even a hit to 1. It was a you're gone. Which is funny because, we got the new Sayo. And now we only have 1 Ko and Sayo dual tamer, the red one. So very interesting. Restricted to 1. So Gravity Crush, we knew this was happening. When this card is used in red decks that have greater attack capabilities, it's possible to win the game at quicker speeds than anticipated. As a result, the gap between the attacker decks that can use this cards and the decks that can't has widened for the above reasons. It's at 1 like every other 0 cost memory gain card. And there's also the Parabolic Junk, This card has a 0 cost and can gain memory regardless of the opponent's status, limiting designs for future cards. For the above reasons, we've decided to restrict this card to 1 copy. And again, it's a memory gain, 0 cost memory gain copy. Opponent's status, so limiting the design on future cards. Purge the Royal Knights when this card and a Royal Knights card with a powerful non-on-play effect are combined. The win rate for Royal Knights decks is greater than expected, limiting the design options for non-on-play effects on Royal Knight cards. In addition, even though Royal Knights decks normally have trouble with beatdown decks, this affinity has been reversed with the significant return of security effects, making 1 copy of this card have great impact. Therefore, we have determined that we must correct this to a proper deck affinity, which is why it's been changed to 1. Garudamon, 1 copy of this card has both an effect that gives rush and an effect that trashes security, making it very potent for reducing an opponent's security stack in Phoenix Mon X-Antibody decks. With the current pool, these effects can be easily activated in 1 turn, allowing 1 copy of this card to accelerate the game speed. For the above reasons, we decided to restrict this to 1. So it does too much. It's got rush, it's got the trash ability that you can give on when digital to your Phoenix Mon, and it adds a card back to a red card back from your trash to your hand. It's OP, and with the new Garudamons, it's really good. We also have Growlmon. Growlmon. As this card's name is Growlmon and its inherited effect has security attack +1, the attack abilities of Gallantmon decks are greater than expected. Therefore, we have determined that we must correct this to a proper deck speed for the reasons he's at 1. This card was originally intended for use in Gallantmon decks for recovery in late game turns for additional attacks, but due to the increase of the card pool, it is now possible to set up successful attacks with rush early in the game. As a result, the game speed has accelerated greater than anticipated, and this card limits the design options for future decks that include purple cards. Yeah, exactly. For the above reasons, we decided to restrict the card to 1 copy. Metal Garurumon. With the increase of the card pool, this card's when digivolving effect can be used repeatedly in a single turn, making it easy to gain a lot of memory. As a result, the potential design for future Garurumon cards would be greatly narrowed. For this reason, we've decided, so basically, there's a lot of cards and a lot of ways you can gain memory off this. It's too good. And then Sakuyamon, draw 2 in this card's when digivolving effect was for using multicolor option cards in Sakuyamon decks, but it also increases the consistency of digivolving into level 7 Digimon. As a result, along with EXO2 Digivolution plugin, this card limits the options for future designs of level 7 Digimon that can digivolve from yellow cards. For this reasons, we've had to restrict both to 1. That one. And then due to the increase of the card pool, it is now easy to make moves from a low level to level 7. Among those, this card's draw 1 has made consistency greater than originally intended. And then the band pair, which is Valderarm and these 2 cards. So Sakuyamon decks have powerful moves that allow for digivolving into a level 7 early game and for dominating the field. In particular, Talmon's inherited effect and EX8 Sakuyamon X-Antibody your turn effect allow for digivolving into Chaosmon Valderarm while attacking, giving the player the ability to quickly reduce opponent's security stacks while preventing them from making comebacks. We've determined that there aren't many decks that can counter this, and this harms the diversity of decks in the gameplay environment. For the above reasons, we've decided, needs to go to 1. And that's it. No unbanned stuff, because then we go into our March 28th. So that is it. Those are the reasons why these cards got hit, and they all seem very legitimate. Definitely seem very legitimate. And I like the Melt Garurumon one, especially because I wasn't sure why that needed to be hit. I honestly hadn't read his effect in a while. Same with, I like the explanation of Garurumon. That makes me feel a little better when I think about it. And the explanation for Sayo and Co. So basically, the game pool is getting bigger, which is going to create more problems, and some of these things have to go or get limited. Again, I would test out a semi-limit list, guys. I think we need 2 cards sometimes. Please let me know what you guys think about this. I definitely think there should be a semi-limit list, and I really wish they would kind of, hey, you know what? I don't think this is broke enough to go to 1. I think that's really going to harm the deck. Let's try it at 2. And if it doesn't work, we can change it. We can go back to it. We can go to 1. I just think that testing the waters with that, it works in Yu-Gi-Oh! It could work. It could work in Digimon, especially when it's 2 out of 4 cards. I would never do a semi-limit for 3. I don't think that's necessary. If the card needs to get hit, it needs to get hit to either 2 or 1. But we'll have to wait and see. Bandai, listen to me. I know you're not watching my videos, but if you ever do semi-limit, think about it, guys. But that's all the time we have for this. We've already talked about the ban list, so this is just kind of the explanation of why things are going the way they are. So I hope you guys enjoyed this. Hope this was valuable for you, as well as the reveal video that we did a little while ago. But it looks like that's all the time we have for this video. Thank you very much for tuning in, and we hope to see you in the next video. As always, have a wonderful day. And that's all for now, folks.